Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Well, welcome everybody to this edition of Freed on Business. This is episode 870. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive, Larry, Eric, and Warren, and Ismet, and Gerald, and the rest of the team there that make me feel like home every time I go in there, Sebastian. Remember, we'll talk a little bit more about Warren Henry later on in the show, but the topic of today's show is going to be my good friend Jeffrey Berkowitz, who recently passed. Jeff was the patriarch of a multi-generational business family, as is Warren Zinn. So a little bit of a commonality there. I'd like to remind everybody we're streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. If you miss any of the episode today or any of the other episodes, you can always find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places where you get your podcasts. And now on with the show. So I want to talk about my good friend, Jeffrey Berkowitz. Like I said, he recently passed. Jeff was a visionary in the urban retail development space here in Miami. The physical environment has been evolving dramatically over the last 30 years. We've gone from a low-rise, suburban, sprawl-oriented community to something that's extraordinarily vertically integrated. In the first place, believe it or not, where we saw the density increase or the tea leaves wasn't in multifamily, although it happened almost simultaneously. It was actually in retail, and it started with Jeff's project, Dadeland Station, which was the first vertical shopping center that I'd ever seen, that I think pretty much anybody ever saw in Florida. And everybody said, well, you'll have a vertical shopping center. It'll have paid for parking. Everybody said it'll never work. Well, guess what? It worked. There was a massive demand for the big box retailers that Jeff brought to the Dadeland area. And to this day, it is perhaps one of the most successful shopping centers here in South Florida. Jeff went on to replicate this at the entrance to South Beach as well. And in addition, he added a lot of beautiful public art to these projects, which was also, again, one of the first times that you saw public art in public spaces. But Jeff wasn't just a visionary retail developer. He was also a tremendous family man. His beautiful sons are now in the business and carrying on his legacy. But more importantly, what Jeff did was he elevated the community as well. He was very instrumental in many different philanthropies, especially things that focused on children. He's very involved with the Miami Children's Museum as well. But as a visionary and a leader in the retail development space, he was bar none par excellence. Jeff was very instrumental in my life. As I was looking for Vivian's kidney, I had to focus on that full time and needed to push away from being in the real estate business. It ended up for being quite a number of years. Jeff helped Vivian and I during that process. He's from a financial basis. I wasn't really able to say that or even go thank Jeff because he really didn't want to hear anything about that. But now I guess it's okay to do that. Jeff was also somebody I shared office space with for a number of years. Just a truly wonderful person that brought a zest for life to everything that he did. So I want to thank Jeff for everything that he did in my life. He was, an attorney. He had a lot of experience with his brother, Richard, in the accounting field. He had incredible expertise in leasing, construction, financing, and especially in government relations. The Berkowitz family is one of South Florida's longstanding real estate dynasties. And, I took a cue from him on another side of the Dadeland shopping center area. I brought one of the first mixed-use developments to town when we did Toscano across from the south side of Dadeland Station, across from Saks Avenue. And we put it on top of a rooms to go. So I watched what Jeff was doing. I hitched my little cart to Jeff. And I'd like to think that I've also had somewhat of a hand in shaping Miami's urban environment. But the real lesson to learn from Jeff is the beautiful family. The thing that he left behind that I think is the thing that he would be most proud of is the beautiful family, multi-generational, just lovely people. Every one of them that I know is just an absolutely tremendous person. But Jeff Berkowitz, first time I ever met him, just an incredible zest for life, incredible kindness, open heart for myself, my family, and I think pretty much anybody that approached him, he'd take time to listen and see what he could do to help that person. So, not a real long episode today, but one that is very impactful and powerful. I'd like to make sure that everybody goes to Jeff, looks up Jeff on the internet, finds out a little bit more about him, and helps move his legacy of positive energy and positive impact in the community forward. Again, what was he really famous for? He was really famous for introducing vertical retail, which made the development more efficient. But to me, what he really did was show me that somebody could be a very big, powerful real estate developer, a real estate business person, but still have a kind heart and be an incredible family man. So hats off to Jeff Berkowitz. My condolences and my heart goes out to the Berkowitz family. And we'll be right back after this because there's one fact I've been holding back. Make sure to stick with us for the bottom line on Jeff Berkowitz and what he meant to me. We'll be right back after this short break for another multi-generational foundational family, the Zinn family and Warren Henry Automotive. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive. This is episode 870. They've been with us, I would have to say at this point, basically since the beginning. They've been great sponsors in helping me put out my energy and help me make my comments on all kinds of different topics. But I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry, Larry, Eric, Warren, of course, Ismet, the head of sales, and of course, Gerald, my service advisor, and Sebastian, the young man who helps me buy all my cars, lease all my cars. Remember, if you want to buy or lease a car, you want to make sure you're getting every advantage as you can. Go to Warren Henry. They will make sure you're getting the best price on your trade-in, the best price and best value on your lease or purchase. They'll help you structure a transaction that's affordable to you, and they'll make sure that you're getting the best possible financial structure on your transaction. High five to Brandon, who makes sure that he does that. He's the F&I guy. They've got great cars up at 151st and Biscayne, their headquarters. They've got Land Rover, Range Rover, Jaguar, and Lincoln. I love my Lincoln that I got there. Down in the Keys, they've got a store that handles all their great nameplates. Of course, they've got their award-winning Land Rover, Range Rover stores in South Dade and West Broward. And remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, reach out to our friends at Warren Henry. Always the best price, always the best service. Become a member of Warren Henry Automotive. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, reach out to me, Jim Freed. I work with a lot of families and institutions here in town in South Florida and across the state. We help the families create and execute their business plan. And you look down there, you can see my contact information. And remember, whenever you reach out to me, whenever you call me, it's always all about you. And now back to today's topic, which is my tribute to my friend and mentor, Jeff Berkowitz. Jeff was the first person to push Miami towards a mixed-use theme. He really helped increase density with his projects at South Beach and also in Dadeland, the vertical shopping centers. He was a great family man, left a beautiful legacy with his multi-generational family. But the thing that really meant the most to me was the impact that he had on the people around him and his civic responsibility. It's the way he touched me and a number of other people. He really did it low key and below the surface, but he helped a whole lot of people here in town. But the one thing that I took away from the memorial services and talking to everybody that was there was that Jeff lived life to the fullest. And I think that's the bottom line here. The bottom line is that no matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing, you've got to live life to the fullest. You've got to grab it, shake it, and when you're done, there shouldn't be anything left and you shouldn't have any regrets. You should be able to lie there as you're exiting the universe, exiting the physical universe to the spiritual one, and feel that you've been a life that's fully completed and that you've not left much on the table, if anything. For me, I do that every day. I make sure that I work with people, that I'm kind to people, that I help them feel good, that I help to elevate them. And that's something that Jeff did. So hats off to Jeff Berkowitz. God bless you. May your spirit be elevated and be a blessing to all of us. So, Jeff, thank you for the impact that you've had on my life. Thank you for the impact that you've had on others. Thank you for the impact that you've had on our community. And thank you for just being you and bringing joy to so many people. I want to remind everybody that you can find our show on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all the different podcast format distributions. If you want to find Freed on Business, just Google @Jim Freed or @Freed on Business on any one of your favorite platforms, and you'll find us. And remember, and this really applies to Jeff. The person wants to do, it really does apply to Jeff. The person wants to do something, finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Miami Podcast Studios, the rest of the show is yours.